All Walled Lake Schools back to school and registration information must be completed through the Skyward Family Access. This includes emergency cards, concussion forms, code of conduct acknowledgements, and any other paperwork requested by each individual school. To begin the online registration process, you must log into Skyward Family Access. A link to Skyward can be found on every building website, as well as the Walled Lake District website. Online registration can only be completed using a parent ID. The username for a parent ID is alphanumeric, as opposed to a 7-digit number, which is a student access ID. To obtain a parent ID, if you don't already have one, please click here for directions on how to request your ID. Once you have logged into your parent account, you will see this year's online registration listed among the quick links on the left of the screen. When you click this link, a menu will appear showing the registration introduction for each school your children attend, with the particular student names for each child under their corresponding school. You will need to complete online registration individually for each child. Click on the first child's name to begin. The first step for all students is the district's welcome letter outlining the registration process. At the bottom right, click on Next to move to the next step. The next 5 steps, labeled A, B, C, D, and E, correspond to the information usually updated on the student's emergency card. Step A is the student's individual information. Here you can add a student's cell phone number and/or a student email address. Move to Step B by clicking on the button underneath the student information labeled Complete Step 1A and move to Step 1B. This will check off that you have verified and completed the student information. Step B is the student's address. You will not be able to make any changes on this page. If changes are necessary, you must contact the school office. Click Complete Step 1B and move to Step 1C to move on. Step C is the family contact information. Here you can update email addresses and phone numbers if necessary. Click Complete Step 1C and move to Step 1D. Step D is the emergency information. Add any special notes regarding medical information in the box provided. Be sure to include the abbreviation MED: before your note. When finished, click Complete Step 1D and move to Step 1E to move on. The last section under Verify Student Information is the emergency contacts. Here you may add additional names by clicking on Add Emergency Contact if necessary. You can also edit the phone numbers of any contacts as long as they are not guardians of other students in the district. If an emergency contact is the guardian of a student in the district, that person will need to update their information through his or her own account. Once completed with all 5 steps of the student information section, click on the button Complete Step 1E and move to Step 2 section. Step 2 is the demographic distribution information, the FERPA form. Click on the link provided to open the form. If there is directory information or any part thereof that you do not want released, please check the corresponding boxes. Please read this document carefully, as it only needs to be completed if you do not want your information included. You can leave the form blank. If you would like, you can print a copy of this form for your own records from the print button located at the top right of the screen. Press the Save button at the top right of the screen to return to the registration process. You must have clicked on the link to the document, whether you completed it or not, in order to activate the Click on Complete Step 2 button. Once the button is activated, click to continue. Step 3 for all students is the Student Code of Conduct form, including the academic integrity and internet usage policies. You must click on this link to open the Student Code of Conduct document in a new window. Once you have read through the document, return to the registration window and click Complete Step 3 and move to Step 4. Step 4 for all students is the concussion form. Each student is required to have a form on file with an original signature. All middle school students are required to print, sign, and return this form to registration. Click on the link to open the document in a new window. After reading and printing the document, please return to the registration window and click on Complete Step 4 and move to Step 5. You must click the link in order to enable the Complete Step 4 button. Steps 5 and on will vary by building. If a link is provided, you must click on the link to open the document before you will be able to complete the step. One of the steps, the number will vary by school, will be to pay fees and payment on lunch account. This will link to the new district payment system. Building payments can be made through the system, and money can be loaded on a student lunch accounts through this system. Click on the link on the screen for a separate video showing you how to create an eFunds account. After logging into eFunds, you will be able to pay for any fees or other payments. Under the Payments option menu, choose Make a Payment. You will see a tab for each child you have set up on your account. Click on the tab of the child you are making payments for. At the top of the list, you will see any outstanding fees, if any exist. Click on the Add button to add these fees to your cart. If you would like to load money onto a lunch account, you can add this value in the box provided and click Add to the right of the lunch line item. Continue scrolling through the list, adding any necessary fees to your cart. Included among the fees in eFunds are pay to participate fees, yearbook purchase, and fees associated with particular programs and courses. Once all fees are added to the cart, click Continue at the bottom of the screen. There is a convenience fee charged per transaction. You may add fees for multiple students to your cart and check out at one time to reduce the convenience fees charged. Check the box stating that you have reviewed your cart and you accept the convenience fee, and click on the Submit button to complete payment. If you would like, you can print a copy of the confirmation page to bring to registration, although this is not required. Another step in the registration process will be to access the food service application. From this step, you can complete the application for a free and reduced lunch, or check the box that states, I do not qualify for benefits or do not wish to complete an application. There will also be a step that will allow you to pre-order school pictures through LifeTouch. ID pictures will be taken during registration. Although there is no obligation to purchase, families can also choose to order picture packages through LifeTouch's website using the code provided in the directions on this step. As an alternative to purchasing a yearbook through eFunds, families can also purchase yearbooks directly from the publisher's website through an additional step. Another step is labeled Additional Registration Forms. This is a required step. By clicking on the link in this step, the registration website will open listing all additional forms in a separate window. These forms include the Administration of Medication Form and Board Policy, the Busing and Transportation Handbook and Brochure, the Criminal History Form, which is required for all volunteers that will be working one-on-one with students and must be printed and returned to school for each volunteer, the Pesticide Advisory, and the Student Insurance Options. Athletics information, including the Student Athlete Handbook and Pay to Participate information, can also be found in this area. In addition, each school has additional forms that are specific for that school only. On the right side of the screen, click on the school name to jump directly to the school. When finished, return to the registration window. The second to last step for all schools is the Acknowledgement form. Click the link to open the form. Electronically signing this form indicates that you and your student have reviewed and approved all the prior steps in the registration process. Yours and your student's electronic signature is required and indicates that you acknowledge and agree to all statements and assurances provided. After signing, you may print a copy of the form for your records by clicking on the button at the top right of the window. Once finished, click on the Save button to return to the registration window. The final step for all schools is the Submit and Complete button. Here, you will see a list of all the steps, required and optional, and the status of each. Once all required steps have been completed, the Submit button at the bottom of the screen will be active. Click on this button to complete the registration process. If you have additional students in the district, return to the home page and complete the registration process for each student by following this same process.